everybody, it's Sherry with the CGH Health Foundation. I am a health coach and an amateur chef, and I am back with another easy healthy recipe for our What's Cooking CGH video series. I'm really excited to do this today because I've been wanting to share this recipe for a long time. And if you're a fan of Asian flavors and you've ever gone to the Thai restaurant and ordered the peanut noodles, the thing that makes them peanut noodles is the peanut sauce that goes on top. And so I'm going to show you a recipe for peanut sauce today. And it can be used for many different things, not just for that peanut noodle dish. You can use it as a salad dressing. You want to make an Asian inspired salad with some edamame and some peppers and things like that. You can use it to dress that salad. You can use it as a dipping sauce for egg rolls or for spring rolls. You can use it as a finishing sauce for a stir fry, so stir fry your vegetables and protein together and then spoon some of this peanut sauce on top of that. You can use it to make those grain bowls or Buddha bowls, sometimes they're called. So that's usually rice and again, more Asian ingredients, some tofu, some shredded carrots, things like that. And then you put this peanut sauce over top. I have a favorite way to use it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute after we get done making the sauce. And so peanut sauce, it starts off with peanut butter, and I always buy a natural peanut butter, and that is because the only ingredients in the natural peanut butters are usually peanuts and maybe a little bit of salt. And so this is the one that I like. Some of the peanut butters will add hydrogenated vegetable oil, and that is, oddly enough, oil that keeps the oil from separating from the peanuts. But the problem with it is that hydrogenated vegetable oil is really bad for our health. It's not kind to our heart. And so yes, if you buy the natural peanut butters, you got to stir them up a little bit before you can use them. What I do is when I get the peanut butter home, I stir it up and then I put the cap on and store it upside down in the refrigerator, and that tends to keep the oil from separating very much. So that's where we're starting off, is with a half a cup of that natural peanut butter. And I'm putting this in the bottom of this big bowl. I don't need a bowl this big just to make the sauce. But I am going to make the other dish using this whole batch of peanut butter. So I'm just going to use one bowl up. All right, the next ingredient is going to be some soy sauce. And I buy the reduced sodium soy sauce. This sauce can be a little bit salty on its own, but we're going to be pairing it with lots of vegetables, and we're just going to use a single tablespoon of this reduced sodium soy sauce. Okay. The thing that I love about this sauce is that it is spicy, it's salty, it's sweet, it's a little fatty from the peanut butter, and so that combination of flavors is really awesome. The sweet for us is going to come from just a tablespoon of maple syrup, and you could use agave, you could use a little bit of honey. I just always have that real maple syrup in the house, and so that's what I'm going to use, a tablespoon of that. Okay, so I said it's salty, it's sweet, also a little spicy. So my next ingredient is going to be a teaspoon of sriracha. So this is a spicy sauce. A little goes a long way. So I'm going to do just a teaspoon of it. And if you don't have sriracha, you don't want to invest in it, you don't think you'll like it, you could do maybe a pinch or two of those crushed red pepper flakes in here. You could do a few dashes of Tabasco sauce, would be another option. If you cook a lot of Asian dishes, maybe you have some of that red chili garlic sauce in the house, and so you could use that chili garlic sauce. I always have sriracha because I use it for other things. And like I said, I'm just going to do a teaspoon of it. Like I said, a little goes a long way. The other thing I like about the sriracha is that it also has a little bit of garlic and some other flavorings in it. And so it just adds some kind of depth of flavor to the dish. Okay, I also have about 2 or 3 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lime juice. That adds a little bit of sour. And the last ingredient, this is optional, maybe you don't care for it. If you've seen these big roots, and they usually have different lobes on them, several, this is ginger. You'll see it in the grocery store, and it looks kind of ominous. But I tell you what, I always have fresh ginger. I keep it in the freezer, which is key. So it's very cheap. If you want to, buy a root, keep it in the freezer, you'll always have it and it won't go bad. The other thing about the ginger is you do want to peel it, and I just use a spoon for that. I just take a spoon and I scrape off the skin. That's very easy to do, and I'll do a couple of inches of that before I put it in the freezer, and then it's always ready to go. When I want to grate it, I got one of these little plain graters, and I'll just grate off as much as I need and put the rest back in the freezer, so that's really easy. And I already have about a teaspoon of grated ginger. All right, let me put this to the side. And the last ingredient that's going to help it kind of all come together is some water. Depending on what you're going to use the sauce for, you might want a little more or a little less water. I've got about a 1/4 cup, and I'm going to start off with just a couple of tablespoons. About half of that, and whisk everything in the bowl. Until it smooths out. You can see it there. If I were going to use this for a salad dressing or stir-fry sauce, I might want a little bit more water. I'm going to be adding a lot of vegetables when I show you the next dish, so I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. I want it to be a little looser. Okay, that's looking beautiful, nice and smooth, all those ingredients incorporated. Let me give it just a little taste. Yum, that's really good. So I was telling you all the different ways to use it. This is my favorite way to use it. I'm going to grab my other ingredients here. I like to use the peanut sauce to make this kind of Asian slaw. And to make things a little easier, I'm starting off with a bag of broccoli slaw. And I like this one. I looked at 2 different varieties of broccoli slaw, and one of them was just the stems of the broccoli with some carrots and some red cabbage in it. I bought this one because you can see the little florets of broccoli, so I just thought that that was going to make a prettier dish. This is a 12-ounce bag of broccoli slaw. I'm going to put the whole bag in. And my remaining ingredients for this slaw, I've got 1 red bell pepper that I cut into kind of little matchsticks to go along with the other ingredients in the slaw. Oops, let me get that in here. The other thing I have is about a cup of shelled edamame. I used to be able to find this already shelled in the grocery store. It's been a little hard to find, but it's easy to find these bags of edamame, okay? And this is a high protein bean and served a lot sometimes as appetizers in Asian restaurants. And ounce for ounce or calorie for calorie, it is actually higher in protein than an egg is. And so I love having this in the freezer to use for snacking or to put in Asian dishes like this. This is typical for these kind of steam fresh. You just put it in the microwave. This one was like 3 or 4 minutes in the microwave and then let it cool a bit. And so if you've never seen edamame before, it's a soybean made for human consumption. And when you eat it in the Asian restaurant, you just kind of pop the bean into your mouth. And so that's what I had to do. Just took a couple of minutes to pop enough beans out to make a cup. And that's what the other ingredient in my salad is, or one of the other ingredients. And last but not least, I have about 3 green onions that I cut into pieces. I'm going to add all of that into the bowl. And tongs are my favorite, one of my favorite kitchen tools. We got that peanut sauce in the bottom of the bowl. And we're just going to toss and toss and toss until we get the peanut sauce all mixed through. And that is looking very good. Can you see that? Beautiful colors. And when I'm going to serve this, I like to garnish it with some whole peanuts. That way everybody knows what's in it. If you're not a cilantro hater, you can also garnish it with some cilantro. And I'm going to give it a taste. It'll taste better as it sits in the fridge if you chill it for a few hours. That was so good. So good for you. I hope you'll give this recipe a try and all of our other recipes on our YouTube channel. And I'll see you again next time.